Hello everyone, I am Kaiju Cooper, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Generation Selects Galactic Man Shockwave. And yes, I would like to formally apologize, we haven't done a long form review in quite a while. I've been doing mostly shorts because, man, those do numbers, and I'm pretty proud of that. Also, thank you guys so much. We've just rocketed past 600 ever since I started doing shorts. We're already at 880. I see 1,000. It's in my sights. I'm really excited for that and brainstorming ideas for a 1K special. So yeah, definitely pretty excited for that. But before we take a look at the figure proper, let's go ahead and take a look at his packaging. Now, I got this guy as a Christmas gift, and here is his big, old, pretty nice looking box. So this guy was part of Siege. God, the camera's just being stupid. This guy was part of Siege, so here's the War for Cybertron trilogy thing. At the top you get Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy, and honestly, I think the box actually just supposed to present it like this. But you got the nice Autobot logo right there, stretches around to the side. Literally nothing but a bunch of product information on the side here. Honestly, Generations Selects does not have the best boxes. I don't really like them that much, but it's not, it's not too big of a deal. And on the front of the box here, you get to see all the beautiful little stuff. Leader Class Leader, Galactic Man Shockwave, War for Cybertron GS03, made in Vietnam. Generation Selects, Transformers Authentic. And you can see, pretty sure that's like the Amazon barcode right there, because this guy's actually discounted on Amazon for Prime members. So yeah, Takara Tomy, and let's go ahead, we'll take a look inside the box. Opening it up, you actually do get that really nice Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy logo. It's pretty sweet. You open it up, and yeah, this does actually look pretty cool, though I am going to have to adjust the camera a little bit. Here's the inside of the box. Yeah, not too crazy. Also, some of you guys may be wondering why I'm not using the light box for this review, but that's because Lightbox, it's kind of small. It doesn't allow me to do that much, so yeah. This is going to be the long review setup still. And here's the inside of the box. You get your plastic shell and all these little different Cybertronian details and stuff, some lettering, and all these different blocky little hexagons. It also comes with this booklet, and yeah, it says right there, Galactic Man Shockwave, Transformers, Siege. I had been wanting to get my hand on some kind of Shockwave figure that was, decent size. I have core class Shockwave, but, it doesn't scale too well. And taking a look at the actual figure itself, let's go ahead and take all these attachments off real quick so we can get a nice look at the base figure. And yeah, let's go ahead and put those off to the side. And here is Galactic Man Shockwave all by himself. Get a good look at him right there. So yeah, I really like this mold. It looks a lot like Shockwave. This is definitely one of the better Siege figures. It's got lots of articulation, great detailing. I mean, you can see all kinds of panel lines all over the figure. Actually, let me bring the lamp to the front. You can see all kinds of panel lines, of different mechanical detailing here. There's some gaps in the knees, but it's not too big of a deal. You get these, you get his gun barrel arm. There are some screws there, but it's not too big of a deal. And looking in his chest, that is some really nice detailing behind this little plastic window here. You get to see some wires, and that is pretty nice, it looks great. And taking an even closer look at the head here, you get to see that beautiful mechanical detailing. It doesn't pick up too well on camera, but there's tons of panels in there. There you go. Now you can see all them little panels and stuff in there, and that big, bright red eye. It looks great. You got black surrounding it, which really makes it just pop even more. And those little silver, what would you call those, pylons on the side of the head, those also look really, really great. This really captures Shockwave's character really nicely. And I gotta say, he does have a really, really good looking color scheme. And you may see this little red square at the top of his head. And if you don't know what that's for, I guess we'll bring this lamp around again. It's light piping, so when you shine a light into there, you get light coming out the eye, and that looks great. And I think, from what I know, behind this character, If you guys know what a Radio Shack is, first of all, good on you. You're old enough to be watching this video. And second of all, they got the Shockwave figure before Hasbro licensed it, and they released him as a toy in their store called Galactic Man. And so yeah, that is the story behind this pretty cool looking design. You may notice there are some lighter plastics to sort of break things up, which I definitely think was needed for this figure's pretty monotone color scheme. But because of his black and white appearance, I definitely do say that makes the red eye at the top pop even more. Nice little rhyme there. And coming to the back, you do get a bit of a backpack, but that is part of Shockwave's design. Also, you get this rubber tube, which some people I heard are afraid might break, and I can't see it breaking unless it breaks right here. But you're gonna have to be pretty stupid and incompetent to break that. So yeah, so the rubber is pretty durable. You can still get a full range of movement. Of course, it'll get tangled if you go all the way around, but it's nothing too bad. And if you don't want to have it on the underside of the arm, you can actually take it and plug it into the side of the arm, which doesn't look half bad either. I won't judge you if you want to display them like this, not too big of a deal. And you're going to go ahead and just plug that in there. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the details on this figure. And I gotta say, Galactic Man is a really great figure. I really like Shockwave. And another thing I gotta say, I have seen the purple, just normal version of this figure with the yellow eye, but he is really expensive, and this guy was on sale, and he was a present. I was about to buy him, but then I got him as a present, so thank you, miss. You know who you are. Not my mom. She got me that other Transformer in that one video. I'm gonna try and put it in the top there if I can figure out how to impose images. I mean, if I can't, I'd look pretty stupid, huh? Anyway, going over the figure's articulation, you get a ball joint at the head, which actually works really well. He can't look up too much because of his whole back assembly there, and he can look down decently. You do get some tilt there, and of course he can spin his head from side to side. You get I'm going to use this arm. You get a swivel at the arm, and it moves out and up, but that's for the transformation, but you can get some good posability out of that. Smell Soundwave's armpit. Soundwave. God, I'm so weird. Anyway, you get a bicep swivel right there, an elbow bend, and a wrist swivel. And when I first saw this figure, I really expected the wrist swivel was going to be more right here where the wrist starts, but it's a bit further up, which doesn't look too bad, but it's a bit of a change. And you actually get a swivel at the gun barrel, which was unnecessary considering it's a gun barrel. What are you going to do with it? There are a couple gaps there, not too big of a deal. But yeah, there's really not much you're going to do with that. You get a waist swivel. It's nice and clicky though, so that's pretty cool. There's no ab crunch, but not too big of a deal considering it is a mainline figure. Let me see if I can position the lamp a little better. And as for leg posability, you get some ratchet joints at the hips here, and that is a really satisfying ratchet joint, although it's already getting a bit loose, which is a bit disappointing. Leg moves out. Beautiful spread. Yeah, it doesn't ratchet, sadly. That would be much more satisfying, but not too big of a deal. You can kick that far. Leg goes back about the same amount. You get a 90-degree bend at his knee, and it is also on a nice clicky ratchet, so that's pretty sweet. And he also has some posable ankles. Those simply go back and forth. So overall, yeah, this base mode is really great. I love this base figure. It looks, it looks like Shockwave, and I like the color scheme a little bit more than that original purple figure. But now it's time to move on to the size comparisons. So here he is next to Studio Series Voyager class Optimus Prime, Transformers Beast Wars Cheetor, Transformers Authentics Megatron, and Transformers Authentics Wheeljack. So yeah, as you can see, this is a pretty good figure. He's got good posability and is an average Voyager class sized figure. But if you remember, this guy is not a Voyager class. Eh? Hint, hint. So now it's time to get Shockwave all armored up. Pretty clean transition, right? Pretty clean? Yeah, so here he is all armored up in his battle mode. I don't know what we're really calling this. But yeah, no. Soundwave looks Shockwave looks absolutely amazing in this mode. I mean, the extra weapons and just all the arms. He's got extra arms. I can't do words, guys. Yeah, all the extra armor adds a really great look to the figure, and it really just adds a nice quality. You know, it's fun to mess around with, especially when you can just take the armor off and on. Take the armor off and yeah, whatever. Just roll with it, guys. Although one tiny little minuscule complaint I have to give is that the color of the armor is not the same color as the body. It is sort of this gray color you'll see here, and then just straight up jet black. I mean, there's a similar color matching problem on the back. One could argue that this part is just yellowing. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera. But yeah, but it's still a color difference nonetheless. Also, I do kind of think his foot extensions are stupid. It wouldn't look nearly as weird if these were the same color, but they're just not the same color like at all. This is excusable, you know, they're still very dark shades, you know, they still work together, they still look like they could match, but these, just no. As expected, Shockwave's posability is hindered a little bit, such as that out at the arm just kind of doesn't work as well anymore. But it's not that the posability is hindered, it's more his posing ability is hindered. That sounds really confusing, but let me explain. All I'm basically trying to say is, with all the bulkiness of this new mode, Shockwave can't really get any, you know, cool poses without it looking super weird and unnatural. I mean, just look. God, why does it have to look cool? There goes my entire argument, I guess. One thing I gotta say about the armor, though, is it has really, really nice bright metallic silver paint, and it just looks absolutely stunning. He stands out very nicely, and I mean, I just love it. It's perfect. It's al dente. So yeah, he does gain a couple, you know, a little bit more posability because he gains a couple arms. See where I was going with that? So the posability on the arms is that they can pretty much move forward, backward. You get a swivel there. You get an elbow bend and another gun barrel swivel, which is pretty nice of them. And I don't have any blast effects like on me, but apparently you can actually attach blast effects to all of these guns, which is that's pretty cool. Although I will say the backpack add-on does feel a bit unnecessary. If they just had a tiny bit of extra budget, but not enough extra budget to include something cool. But yeah, this is a really, really good robot mode, and I enjoy the figure quite a bit. And here he is in his alternate mode. You might be wondering just what exactly kind of spaceship is this supposed to be? Because I'm on the, you know, it looks really weird. It looks really, really weird. You got this giant barrel at the front, you know. The arms are obviously here. That's just Shockwave's chest. The legs, the feet don't even fold up, you know. And you got this tiny little, I guess that's where the cockpit's supposed to be or whatever. You know, it just looks really odd. But the thing is, it's not supposed to be a spaceship. You see in the original cartoon, Shockwave has a, like, space laser gun robot. I mean, like, alternate mode. So this is just that turned upside down. You do this, you flip these fins in, and he turns into a gun again. Now, some of you may be wondering why they had to do the whole thing with the spaceship being flipped up upside down version of the gun, but that's because, like, laws and rules about toy guns. But who needs that? I have a giant laser gun now. I can go shoot some people. And I'm back, you know, kind of fun, pretty fun. I mean, the recoil's a bit much, but Nothing I can't handle. So yeah, that is pretty much the alternate mode. And here he is with all the extra parts strapped onto him, and yeah, this looks awesome. Although this time I will say it does work better as a spaceship, because this is just a bit much, don't you think? You know, we're going a bit overboard now, guys. But yeah, this actually does kind of fix the spaceship look, because why wouldn't a giant Cybertronian war machine have 1 billion guns on it while flying around, you know, shooting all the enemies? Plus, you got all those extra wings and stuff on the back, so it really does help the alternate mode a lot. You know, it doesn't really work as a gun anymore, but it does look like a spaceship, so I guess technically you get 3 modes with this figure. All I see when I come up to the cockpit is a tiny little Shockwave head. It's so cursed. I mean, it has light piping too. It's not as good, but it's there. It's there and it's horrifying. Stay afraid. And now time for the size comparisons. Cheetor, Wheeljack, and Optimus Prime. There was no way I was transforming him just for the size comparison. Ignore the lamp. So yeah, Galactic Man Shockwave is a great figure and just a great set overall, so I definitely gotta recommend him. Overall, this figure is a really, really solid 8.5 out of 10.